Okay, hey everyone. I have been enjoying making films with the family that I visited for Thanksgiving. This is my brother-in-law, Adam.
What's up?
So I think what's more important than what films you watched what you think of the films you watched and your reviews of movies is whether you saw the movie, what got you into the theater. Like, honestly, I often say that I think the Avengers are trash, but I actually never seen the Avengers, but I made a conscious decision. The Avengers' job was to get me in the theater to watch it, and it's always looked like a stupid idea. So, Adam is not a movie person. Adam's more like a Phillies person, a weather person. He has a lot of hobbies, but you do watch movies.
I do. I enjoy them.
So I am enough of a nerd about movies that I count the number of movies I've seen, and I saw 43 movies last year. I think you've watched less than 43 last year, right?
Yeah, it was, I think, less than that.
So, let's go over some of the top movies of last year, the most popular, the ones that were hardest to avoid, and discuss, if you saw the movie.
You got it.
So, let's just go over the top 10 or top 15 or something. So, the most popular movie was Black Panther. Did you see Black Panther?
I did.
What got you into the movie theater? What was...
It got great reviews. I heard good things, good word of mouth, and it was an enjoyable movie. Not one of my favorites, but solid superhero movie.
I think it was, for me, I think that Oscar buzz, and it was just so talked about that I was like, I gotta see what the fuss is about. Did you see Avengers?
I did.
You saw Avengers. Okay, so is it trash or am I incorrect?
Complicated plot line, but it was enjoyable. It was all right.
For me, the idea is it's cheap. It's cheap and an easy money grab because it's you got the successful movie A, you got successful movie B, you got successful movie C.
And then they broke it up into two parts too.
You put all these characters together. It's the easiest way to make money possible.
And they made a lot of money.
Did you see? All right, well, just Incredibles 2.
I saw that. I don't remember it as well.
You've actually seen a lot of the popular ones. I mean, Incredibles 1, I don't know if it needed a sequel, so I skipped it. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Love Jurassic World. Absolutely. The
Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom
was one of those sequels. Honestly, I like the first Jurassic Park the best. But, these sequels are okay. They're not bad. They're coming out with another one pretty soon. I'm excited about it. Love dinosaurs.
If they can get you... Yeah, and you do like the natural sciences. So I would imagine so.
Yeah, I'm going to see all those.
If they can get you into the theater, then they've done half their job. Aquaman?
I saw it. It was all right.
Actually... I did see Aquaman, and I really did enjoy that. It made no sense as far as I could tell.
I agree. Yeah.
You probably, because I know that. Can we disclose that you're in the Earth sciences?
Yeah, it just got crazy at the end. By the end, things are blowing up across the whole ocean, and I had a hard time following what we were looking at.
I do not. I think from 30 seconds in, I just thought this is a ridiculous movie with no basis in science. I don't remember any point that made sense of the first half.
First half was alright.
Okay. Deadpool 2, Dr. Seuss's The Grinch, Mission Impossible, Ant-Man and the Wasp. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. Because I saw the first Ant-Man, and I felt like there was more to see.
It was solid.
It's like a special effects. It's like a B movie. It's like a 1950s B movie when they're big monsters and just like this. It felt like that Epcot Center ride. The special, Bohemian Rhapsody, A Star Is Born, Solo.
Saw Solo.
I saw Solo.
And that was forgettable. That was not one of my favorite Star Wars movies.
Solos was a film that, and by the way, we're at the 3-minute mark. If we try to aim for 8 minutes mark, we could probably get to 25 movies.
All right, let's keep going.
I know you've had a long day. By the way, thank you for making Thanksgiving dinner.
My pleasure.
You probably are I want to get to sleep. You've expressed the desire not to do this video at all.
My brother-in-law, anything.
You prefer to.
We'll do this all night.
Oh, okay. I actually skipped the last two Star Wars films. I saw Star Wars 1, then I was I don't need more mythology, it's complicated. And then Solo, I said, I think this is going to be the old days where it's just a nice, clean adventure.
Solo was alright. Would you see the Rogue One thing? Whatever.
I did not see the Rogue One.
That was good.
I just felt like Solo was the more... Well, the funny thing about it, in 2016 that came out, and I was I just saw my 40th movie of 2016, and I was I saw 40 movies, let's move on to 2017, which is why I skipped it. And then 2018, I broke the 40-movie barrier, and I saw 43 movies. I've already mentioned that. I'm kind of proud of it.
That's a good thing.
So I was so now that so now I'm okay, you can go past 40. Maybe I'll go back and see Rogue One. But the thing is, I think Solo, because Han Solo was the most marketable character, he wasn't so much a sci-fi mythological character. He was just kind of an adventurer in the sort of Indiana Jones mold, and played by the same actor. That. I just figured this might really be an interesting return to form in terms of the adventurous side of Star Wars. A Star Is Born, Bohemian Rhapsody. No, we already covered that. I did see it, Bohemian Rhapsody. Venom, Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Didn't see it.
Wreck-It Ralph, I think you have kids, so you've seen a bunch of cartoons.
My son has seen those.
Wreck-It Ralph, I think, is one of my favorite movies. And if you're nostalgic, I mean, I know that you played Nintendo as a kid.
I do.
It's like a play on all those characters. Now, there's a small... So, a lot of these are sequels, a lot of these are prequels, a lot of these are what they call, like, pre-existing properties, or I think it's called IP or something. No, intellectual properties in the movie terminology. But, it's admirable when a film can break through without necessarily being a sequel or prequel.
So let's talk about some of these sequels or movies that they've remade. I thought Mary Poppins, remaking that was a disgrace. They didn't have to remake the original. I thought the second movie was terrible. It was one of those few movies I actually stopped watching midway through. I found it to be
I never do that. Okay,
I hated it, and I really enjoyed the original Mary Poppins.
Here's the thing.
I was really disappointed.
Here's the thing: is Mary Poppins is one of the, I would say, the 4 movies of the top 25 that actually received Oscar buzz.
Really?
That was nominated by the Screen Actors Guild Award. It was nominated for probably Golden Globe.
Right.
Like it was considered one of the best films of the year by many people.
Interesting.
I did not see that. I did see there are 4 films on this year, as far as I can tell: Bohemian Rhapsody, A Star Is Born, Crazy Rich Asians, and Mary Poppins, that weren't just box office successes, they were like big critical successes. Oh, also A Quiet Place. So what's also interesting is that Crazy Rich Asians, A Quiet Place...
I enjoyed Crazy Rich Asians.
Bohemian Rhapsody, and I guess Star Is Born is technically a sequel.
I want to talk about Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse. Did you see that?
That
was that cartoon Spider-Man
I
thing.
think one of the most morally bankrupt things Hollywood has ever done is make Spider-Man, then make Spider-Man 5 years after the first Spider-Man, and then make it again, I think, like 3 years after that?
Yeah,
this
was a little bit different, though. This was a cartoon. It was a bizarre movie.
It actually won the Oscar for Best Animated Film.
It was an original movie. I don't know if I enjoyed it so much. It was a little chaotic and crazy, but it was original, if nothing else. So
also, I will say that Crazy Rich Asians is one of my favorite films of last year. It was such a... And I recently rewatched it. I don't mind admitting, as a guy, I cried at the end. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. The scene where the woman stuck by her mom in the mahjong, and
movie.
That floored me, as well as the wedding proposal on the airplane. It floored me. It's a film that really deals with a lot of... You can deal with like 6 themes in a single movie. There's no point. You deal with like old and new money versus how you define yourself within a culture, love, how you try to move up into the world, and whether you can choose love or money, and this family bonds, and how you label yourself. Like some people might label themselves a black sheep in their family, and then sticks with them, and all kinds of themes. It was just really, it had a strong sense of place. One of the films on this list that I saw was, actually we saw one film together last year. It was called Teen Titans, and the film I wanted to see instead was Hotel Transylvania 3, and I saw it actually. Did you see it?
I did not.
I do recommend that. Halloween, I don't even know what that is. I think it's just a scary movie. The Meg is a
Definitely
film.
saw The Meg.
What is it about?
It's about a giant shark, a megalodon.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So that actually is an original movie. It probably was not.
It was. The plot is pretty obvious, but I love those crazy kind of sci-fi type movies.
Okay, so in terms of original movies, Ready Player One.
I loved Ready Player One. I enjoyed it. I thought some of the things were unrealistic, but like for example, when sorry, spoiler, but like in the get that first break the first code where they drive backwards. You're telling me in like years with like millions of players, no one's ever decided to just drive backwards. So it was something like that I thought was completely absurd. But overall, I thought it was an original movie. I enjoyed it, and especially now with things like the Oculus Quest or whatever it's called coming out, where it's literally you're in this 3-dimensional virtual reality world. I thought it was really cool.
Okay, it technically is an original movie because it's not based on a existing TV show or movie or a sequel or a reboot or a remake. However, it is kind of a nod to everything in the 80s and recycles every single 80s
Very
movie.
True.
Like, you're literally living The Shining.
It was awesome.
You're talking about Back to the Future, King Kong.
The Shining wasn't an 80s movie, though, was it?
It was an 80s movie. I think...
Stand corrected.
We could look it up, but I think it would be boring to the audience just to watch me Google it.
Let's keep going on real quick.
Okay.
Bumblebee, saw that. That's
the last of the top 25.
I enjoyed that. But I do want to talk about really quick. I thought Creed 2... I have loved Creed and Creed 2. Those movies, you said you were crying. I think by the end of Creed 1, I was in tears. Even Creed 2, I loved it. I thought it was so fantastic. And for a sequel on something like Rocky, where you don't think it's going to have that much depth to it, so much character development.
That was also a film that got a lot of critical praise. I think Creed 2 less because sequels it's hard to do something with. I also, did you see Ocean's 8?
I did not.
If you liked Ocean's 11, I think you'd really like Ocean's 8. It's much more clever. I always had a big George Clooney problem. I think he's very, like, smug. So, like, you can enjoy Ocean's 11, and spoiler alert, George Clooney might or might not be dead.
Okay.
So, like, either you're watching, like, very little George Clooney or zero George Clooney, and that's always a good thing. And Sandra Bullock, really, who, by the way, is a hometown hero. We come from Sandra Bullock's from Arlington, Virginia.
I think was that where they? I'm sorry, another spoiler. Was that where they stole? They were like robbers, and they stole the jewels from like the like that necklace. They stole that necklace, and wasn't that movie, Ocean's 8?
Yes, it's not a spoiler to say that in an Ocean's movie people are going to steal things. Yes, they do steal things.
I did see that movie.
I do wish we talked about Ready Player One, because the question, is this original, is an interesting question. But I think we got through.
We're just about out of time.
We are out of time. Thanks so much, Adam, for participating.
My pleasure, buddy. Hey.
Okay, we'll shake hands.
Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
Thank you. All right, I did none of the work for Thanksgiving, so this is the least I can do.